Are you ready to go this?
Yeah.
Ready to go this. There was so many.
You ready to word mouth? You ready for words to come out of your mouth?
Two-letter word.
Mouth?
I didn't get the first letter right, and the second letter I mispronounced it. You ready to go this?
That's kind of scary.
Holy
when the
hell.
first thing you try to say is
You ready to go this? I'm ready to get my skivvies giggled.
I'm ready to go this.
We gonna get the beach nut in there now.
Get down, mama.
I think you should lose the first line and the last line and all of the other lines and instead just walk up to the mic and meow really loudly for 8 minutes.
Okay.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. It's just like a tractor pull, just without all the mud and detractors. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darren.
Hello, I'm Darren.
I am Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast. This is episode 263. How you doing?
If you were concerned that
Hi.
perhaps you're not listening to the correct podcast, you are indeed
Oh, are you so wrong?
exactly where you,
are-
need to be.
You have never... Are they wrong or are they right?
They're right, but in the wrong way. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
If you like what you hear,
Yeah.
because we got to say this in the beginning, because some of you musk-scratchers don't make it to the end. If you like what you hear, join us at IrritableDadSyndrome.com. You can sign up for our email list. You get notifications of when we go live.
Yep.
All these fun things. We are everywhere. We're on every platform.
Everywhere you get your podcast.
We're on the YouTubes. We're on the X's
We're in
/
your-
Twitter.
we're in your grocer's
We're on
frozen
the Blue
food
Sky.
section.
We're on the Giggle. We're on the Spotify. All of it.
Yeah.
You can follow us on all those things. Of course, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Who
of
are
course.
you if
Of
you're
course.
not on Apple?
Come on. We're
Just
everywhere.
check us out. We're fun, and we like to have you here. If you would like to support us, there's all kinds of fun little perks.
Oh, yeah.
You get to hear us say the naughty words. That's one of the perks.
That is.
And
it is.
what's more American than that?
I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. But yeah, you can go to IrritableDadSyndrome.com. You can join Patreon, right? And you could help us financially if you want to. If you don't want to do that, one thing you can do is you can go to Instagram or TikTok or Facebook Reels, any place where our videos are shown. Excuse me. You can like those and share those, and that would help us.
The videos are but a small slice of the show.
Very small.
So,
They're a sampling of the greater good that
Yeah.
is Irritable Dad Syndrome.
yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm pretty good. Pretty good.
So this is odd for me. I don't know exactly what to do with my hands.
You look like you're about to do a magic trick. If you guys are watching on the video, Darren has three.
Normally, when I do this podcast, I will get a glass of water.
Yeah.
For some reason, the water at Mike's house tastes better than water anywhere, and I don't understand. It must be the filter or something. So I normally get a glass of water. Now, Mike usually gets a cup of coffee, and I thought, hey, can I get a cup of coffee tonight?
Maybe
and
there's
Mike
some
said,
magic in the
absolutely.
yeah.
I might need a little something to get me through this podcast tonight. So Mike says, sure. And he pours me a cup of blueberry coffee,
Yeah.
which is really good. So I got my coffee and my water. And then Bess, who's Mike's wife, lovely lady, you would enjoy her if you ever met her. She was making a smoothie for Charles, which is Charlie, Mike's kid. Darren, do you want some smoothie? Sure. So I've got coffee, a smoothie, ice water.
If you're watching on stream,
Just
there's two guys and there's 5 cups in front of us. And Darren's double fisting right now.
2 guys, 5 cups.
That's the title.
That's a title. And we got it within the first 4 minutes. Yeah.
So you excited for the new Superman? Are you getting there at all? Have you seen the trailer with the teeth hitting the camera?
No, I'm not. And I'll tell
Okay.
you why. I like Superman.
Yeah,
I
I-
do like Superman.
He's the
I
American
lost-
hero.
Yes. Well, G.I.
Well,
Joe
he's
is
an
the
alien.
American hero. Yeah.
Yeah, G.I. Joe is the
No,
greatest
just
American.
Superman ain't from here.
No,
He is
he's
an alien.
He's a foreigner,
He's right.
but he came here. Actually, he didn't even come here legally.
No, he did not.
He just crash landed in a cornfield. He's an undocumented.
He didn't go through customs.
No.
Nothing. Yeah.
But what
he is undocumented.
What the government found is that when they tried to arrest him, he's the man of steel.
That's true.
He breaks right through
His
all
eyes
restraints.
have lasers.
Yeah.
Right? And he
Yeah.
can see through things.
and he can throw he can take the S off of his chest and throw it at one of Zod's generals.
Yes. And
just take him out.
It's like a cellophane wrap thing.
And here's and not many people know this. He can fly.
He can fly.
He can fly very fast.
He once flew around the whole ding-dang planet like 50 times.
And he did it so fast. That he made time go backwards.
Time went backwards.
So that all that rocks and stuff didn't go into Lois Lane's
did not
El
kill
Dorado
Lois Lane.
or whatever the hell she was driving.
She was driving an El
out there in
Dorado.
the desert.
She was driving a
Why was she out there?
Pontiac Aztek.
Why was she out there? I know Lex was going to do something with real estate.
Lex
Because
Luthor
he took the cane and he hit that glass thing.
Yeah, he opened up the earth and her car fell into the earth, right?
Yeah.
And that's where she almost suffocated.
Yeah.
On the dirt.
Well, you see her. You see the dirt cave. It was very traumatizing.
Very
As a kid,
traumatizing.
when I was a kid when it was on, I was
a kid, too.
traumatized.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I still.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I like Superman.
Yeah.
I like him.
Like him.
I like him very much. There ain't no Superman like Christopher Reeve.
True.
And what's it, Brandon
Roush.
Yeah, he's good. I like him, but they lost me.
He was kind of the creepy Superman.
They completely lost me at Superman versus Batman. They lost me, and I was like kind of done with the Superman.
Nobody wants to watch the bros fight.
No, even and then they did the DC version of the Avengers, the 6 of them. That is the series known as.
I'm sorry, the Justice League?
The Justice League.
Is that who you're talking about?
The Justice League. I tried watching Justice League. I tried giving it the old rewatch.
Yeah.
I couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I just couldn't.
I
So now they're making it again, and even though they got James Gunn, and everybody thinks that James Gunn is going to just save the DC universe.
It looks pretty good.
It may be amazing, but this is an unpopular opinion. I wasn't thrilled with what James Gunn did with Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Whoa. That was supposed to be like the best Marvel movie of all time.
Every time I see the best Marvel movies since Endgame list, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is always at the top.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. And it ain't just me. Jacob couldn't really get into it. Cameron didn't get into it. Libby thought it was okay,
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Will I go see it? Sure. I've got nothing else to do.
We're excited.
Outside of doing this podcast with you, I have no life, no aspirations, nothing to look forward to.
Well, we're excited because Nathan Fillion is playing the green whatever guy.
The Green Hornet?
The green guy. And he has a bowl cut. And then there was a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth on the interwebs about his bowl cut and what a dork he looked like.
Yeah.
And then the nerds, the comic book nerds, started plastering pictures of the original green guy.
Yeah.
And he looks just like the Nathan Fillion guy. So now you have this battle back and forth with them.
Yeah.
I like the fact, the reason I'm going to see Superman is the trailers, the Superdog. Crypto. I want to see Crypto.
Yeah.
And probably the best ad I've seen for any Superman ever since the Christopher Reeve ones. Mm-hmm. There was a TikTok ad where the camera goes to Clark Kent with his glasses and everything. And he's doing an interview, and the camera pans over, and it's Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And then when it pans over to them, they go, "Wait, who are you?" And it comes back, and he's taking his glasses off. And they have no idea who he is.
Oh,
Dad cackled. This is the humor that I want in my Superman movie.
Yeah, I'll go see it, but I'm not like losing my mind over it. I'm not really. It's like I'm gonna go see the new Jurassic World movie.
Yeah,
and that may be amazing. It's got ScarJo.
Yeah,
I like ScarJo.
Bess and the kids are excited about that one. I don't know. I'm done with the dinosaurs.
Cameron wants to see the How to Train Your Dragon and
the live action version.
The live action version. And there's a guy on TikTok, he's a movie critic, and his opinion I respect very much. Every time he talks about a movie and why it didn't hit him in the places where it's supposed to, I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, there's no reason to make How to Train Your Dragon at all because they didn't expound upon it. They just made a live action version. It's a little bit longer. Yeah, movies don't excite me like they used to, and that makes me feel old, and it saddens me a little bit because I can't remember the last time I was like stupid excited for a movie since Avengers Endgame.
Well, if that didn't get you excited, this sure as hell won't.
Okay.
They're making a new John Wick.
Ballerina?
They're bringing him back. No, that's a new character.
Okay, yeah, but there's the John Wick. His daughter is Ballerina, and that's in theaters now.
He has a daughter?
You don't know about John Wick Ballerina?
I know about Ballerina. That's not his daughter.
Well, who is it?
It's in the theaters now?
Yeah. How do you
Didn't
not
know that.
How do you not know about this?
Hold on.
Do you not have the John Wick? Aren't you on the John Wick app that notifies you whenever somebody says, thinks, feels something about John Wick?
No, I didn't. So I know Ballerina is a skin in the COD. That's how I know about it.
What?
My question is, what the hell?
It's a skin in COD.
What does that mean?
Oh, from the world of John Wick, Ballerina.
Yeah. How do I know
I'll
about?
be damned.
How do I know about a John Wick movie? Because I thought for sure.
2025 film.
Yeah, it's in theaters now. I thought for
Really?
sure you'd be going, hey, Darren, let's go see. I know you hate John Wick, but
Hey,
let's
it
go.
was released June 6th. That was 11 days ago.
Yes.
Ha!
Is it his daughter?
It's a daughter of two assassins. It's not John Wick's daughter.
Oh, okay.
John Wick has no daughter. He's alone. That's what he's John
Wick.
Wick.
Nothing. He has no acting skills, I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right. There went all of our viewers.
Yeah.
This show is.
You have the uncanny
this
ability.
This episode hasn't started out at all like I thought it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you just tell everyone how much Lord of the Rings sucks?
I love
Why don't
Lord.
you all over America while you're at it? How you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to say a big shout out to this guy. His name is Doug Kramer. Who's Doug Kramer, you might ask?
Yeah.
Doug Kramer is the brother of this woman named Regina. She is a friend of Libby and myself. And a couple of weeks ago, we were at Regina's house. That her son Isaac was having a graduation party. And Doug comes over and he says, hey, Darren, how's it going? And I'm good, Doug. How are you? That's how we talk to each other. And Doug said, hey, I really like your podcast.
Holy.
I had no idea that Doug had even been listening to the podcast.
Wow.
But he has been listening to the podcast, and he made a point to come over and tell me, and he talked to me for like 10 or 15 minutes about how much he liked the podcast.
Is there any
Doug,
particular part that he likes?
Dave Lay.
Check 1, 2, 3. Hi, I'm Dave Lay.
He likes Dave Lay.
All right.
No,
Okay.
and he likes Dave Lay, and then he was talking about a story that you had brought up, and I can't remember what story it was. But I was thrilled because he liked the podcast, but he mentioned Dave, and then a story of yours, and then he got distracted and started talking to somebody else, and I'm just hanging like, and what was it that I said that you liked, Doug? Yeah. So, but anyway, Doug likes the podcast, and he made a point to tell me. And Doug, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Someone else who I think will like the podcast, if they ever listen to it, is Conan O'Brien. Yeah, and we're trying very, very hard. Conan, if you're listening, which you might be, and there may be somebody out there who knows you who listens to this podcast.
I could see him listening to maybe 30 seconds and then rolling his eyes.
Well, this would be the episode that he would not get over. The whole 25 minutes talking about Superman. He's we already lost Conan.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that if he fast forwards and gets to this part, that Conan, we're still wanting to go on your podcast. So give us a call.
You're listening to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast.
What in the hell kind of sales approach is that? You boys couldn't sell $1 for 50 cents.
It has been asked, it has been requested, people have said and opined that perchance I should do a stand-up thing. So,
I do. I think you should do stand-up comedy.
what I've started to do
Okay.
is to create a list. It's really...
Opined?
it's going to be one of these things. If I drop dead, they're going to take this thing out and say, "Look at how disturbed this guy was."
Yes.
But
as I say, well, don't ever let somebody see what you call your set list.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to understand what you're talking about. You know, you have to
set it up.
You have to set it up and then go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can write down barbecue biscuits and be like, "What? That's hilarious." Oh no, but if you go for 20 minutes talking about barbecue biscuits.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I don't think that's going to happen
cut
because
that.
I can't even find the thing.
This is the worst episode we've ever done.
Editing, Darren, you need to cut most of this stuff out.
I'm almost at the point where we start over.
No.
Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. Business in the front, party in the back. Welcome your hosts, Mike and Darren.
It's been a rough few days for me, so I'm glad to be alive
I've had a rough few weeks.
Yeah.
How many times have you been to the, do you call it the DMV, the Division of Motor Vehicles, or the BMV, the Bureau of Motor
It's
Vehicles?
the DMV, and I get pissed off when people, or is it the BMV? DMV?
I don't know
I call
anymore.
it the DMV.
Okay.
But it is the BMV in Ohio. Ohio.
So 3 weeks ago, I mentioned a while back that my son Cameron has a new car.
Yeah.
He has a Chevy Trax.
Okay.
So the plates, the temporary tags, as the kids say, they were about to expire.
The registration.
The temporary tags,
Okay.
the ones on the back of the car, were about to expire. They had like a couple weeks. So I drive down to the DMV, and I say, and I put my name on the kiosk.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for them to screw up my name, which they didn't, and I was disappointed.
Uh-huh.
So I put my name in the kiosk, and I wait probably 20 to 25 minutes, and I get up there, and I say, I need to get a license plate for this new car, and I didn't have what's called the memorandum title that the dealership mails to you. And I'm like, the what? The memorandum title. And I called it the Miranda title for a while, named after
You have the right
Miranda,
to remain silent.
who gives you your rights.
Yeah.
So, okay, I didn't know that. I screwed up. And then I said, well, while I'm here, my driver's license, I don't have what's called the real ID. So if I fly, I can't fly with this driver's license. And she said, do you have your birth certificate or your passport with you? No, I don't. Well, I can't change this over. You have to have your birth certificate, your passport, or another form of identification. So I went all the way out to the Division of Motor Vehicles.
This is in Hamilton.
In Hamilton. It takes about 20 minutes to drive down there. I was there for about a half hour and then the 20 minutes to get back. So I wasted a good hour and change of my day because I didn't know what I was doing. And the moral of the story is I've got to figure out what I'm doing before I start doing things. So the next week, I go back to the Division of Motor Vehicles. This time I have the thing. I've got the memorandum title. Okay, I've got my birth certificate. I don't have a passport, but I have a piece of mail that comes in the mailbox.
This is the best episode
Yeah,
we've ever
I
done.
know, right.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got that.
Yeah.
And I drive all the way down there, and I put my name in the kiosk, and I waited 20, 30 minutes or whatever. I get up there, and I say, yes, I want to get tags for this car. And I show the memorandum title to the lady, and the car is in my mom's name. My mom bought the car.
Yeah.
And she said,
You gotta bring your mom.
Is your mom here? I said,
Oh,
no.
here we go.
But I have my birth certificate with my name and her name proving that the name on the memorandum title matches the name of my mother. That's not good enough.
No.
That's not good enough.
There's pictures of you together with her.
I showed her my Facebook page.
You shouldn't have to prove.
Here's me and my mom.
Yeah. You have a mother.
I have one, yes.
Yeah. Most people alive were born of a mother.
Yes.
Right?
So she won't sell me a license plate, which I think is ridiculous. Like, is there some wild group of heathens going around while buying willy-nilly license plates? So she says, here, take this form. It's a power of attorney. I need to
Oh, my
sign
Lord.
this power of attorney. And then I fill out my part, and Mom fills out her part. And then basically on paper, she gives me permission to buy a license plate for a car. I'm like, oh, good God.
So you can do this. You can do this stuff online, right? Do you have because it's a new?
I don't know how to do anything online.
I'm just saying. I
Maybe.
I like click things. And it's disturbingly easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why anyone would buy my license plate for me.
That's true.
But someone could.
Now Okay, and I know what you're going to say because you always give me because of how ignorant I am.
Don't steal my thunder.
Ignorant I am trying to do things online. The last time I tried to do something online was when my mom's license plates expired, and I was trying to renew them online, and everything I clicked, everything I went to, boom, boom, it would not do it. I found out it wouldn't do it because her tags had expired beyond the point of doing them online.
You're at the point where you need to go into an interrogation room and explain where you've been for the previous 3 months.
So I'm of the opinion, just go down there and do it face to face.
Yeah.
Face to face. Okay. So I'm talking to Mom, and Mom's like, oh, good Lord, I'll just go down with you.
Okay.
It's like, okay. So Monday morning, she went down with me. Oh, by the way, I was able to do my my driver's license.
Okay.
I've got a real ID coming.
Yeah.
So if I need to fly, I can fly now. So Mom goes down there with me. We left at 7:30 in the morning. We got there about 10 minutes before the place opens. I'm like, first in line. Mm-hmm. I was like Clark Griswold. First in line, first one here, first one out, baby, yes. They unlocked the door, and I look at this woman. I said, hi, good morning. And she says, sign in, please. Good morning to you, too.
Welcome to the
and she is just
Bureau
already pissed.
of motorized
And
vehiculars.
One foot was in the door when I said good morning, and she said, sign in, please. She's already not having it. She's not having it.
No.
So we sign in, and it couldn't have gone easier, okay? It went smoothly, completely smooth. I go up there, and I say, yes, I need to buy these tags. This is my mom. She's the person who purchased the car, and Mom showed her license, and we did all the things. And then the lady said, do you want to renew your license in January of 2026?
Oh.
Or would you like to push it out? I said, I can
Push
push
it out.
Yeah, I said, wait, I can push it out? Yeah, you can push it out. I said, how long can I push it out? She says, how long do you want to push it out? And I said, how long can I push it out? She said, are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down.
She says, you can push it out for 4 years. I'm like, son of a...
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
By God, yes, I'm going to push it out.
You pay for each year, like, right at that
then
moment?
and there.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pushing it out for 4 years.
Yeah.
I got a sticker on that license plate that said 2030.
Holy Lord.
And I was thrilled. That was the most exciting thing to happen to me in forever. I'm like, I don't have to. I mean, now granted, with our license plates and stuff, we have those mailed to us in the mail, in the U.S. mail, the Pony Express. But still, I don't have to deal with that. I paid it, and it's taken care of for 4 years.
Holy Lord. Yeah, see,
I might not even be around when that thing expires.
Yeah. I think I did see that option online, but I'm putting a tag on a Kia. And I wanted to see if there was a monthly option. You can't do that.
This portion of our show is brought to you by books. Buy a book at a reputable bookstore or check one out for free at your local public library. Read one today. They're really cool. Now, back to the show.
Have you heard that there are carp the size of a Volkswagen at the bottom of the Ohio River?
I have not heard that.
Or, I'm sorry, catfish.
So there are catfish the size of a Volkswagen.
It's rumored that there's catfish.
Was it on the internet?
This is way before the internet.
Well, why are you bringing it up now?
Because we were next to the Ohio River, very close to it, and I told Charlie that, and he said, and I quote, "No, they're not." I was like, "Yes, there are. People told me that when I was a kid." And then that's when Andrew looked at me like I was crazy. So I looked it up on the interwebs, and it turns out it's not true. But
okay, but it could have been.
It could. There are very large catfish down there. We're over 100 pounds, and there are reports. There are reports of catfish in other countries that have gotten up to 350 pounds and are as large as a small which I didn't know they came in different sizes. Volkswagen.
A small Volkswagen.
Small Volks, not one of those big Volkswagen buses.
No,
One
a
of the little
VW
Beetles.
microbus
Yeah.
with the shovels and rakes and implements of destruction.
But the way I heard it was kids at
Arlo
school.
Guthrie.
I know somebody's a diver, and they went down there. First of all, who's diving there?
No.
But yeah, so Charlie, we were by the river, and he said, "Do you want me to go? What would you do if I pulled a Sharon Woods here?" Now, you may be asking yourself, what is pulling a Sharon Woods?
Yes, I was.
When
Yes.
Charlie was about 2 years old, I took him to Sharon Woods. Would you call it a lake or is it a pond? What is that? It's a pondish lake or lakeish pond.
It's
You can see the other shore.
I'm going to call it a pond.
A pond.
Yeah.
Well, it had a layer of algae on it that was green. So
That's the color algae is.
It looked like there was no real shore there, that it was just more grass. And Charlie jumped off the pier onto what he thought was grass. He went straight down. He's
still there.
He's 2. So I retched down into the murky, ungodly water. I remember grabbing him around the neck.
You saved your son's
and
life.
I yanked him up, and he was sputtering. And, of course, there were people screaming, "Oh, my God," and all this stuff. And it pulled him out and calmed him down. He didn't seem to... He said
didn't
later
care.
that he was down there, and his eyes were open, and he said he thought he saw some fish. It's like, well...
He probably saw the
that's-
Loch Ness Monster.
I said, I ain't giving you no 350, you damn Loch Ness monster. Get your own damn money.
I was going to say, that's where you would see him.
Yeah.
Is where you were.
Yes. If you were looking for fish, that would be the place.
So when he said, "Do you want me to do a Sharon Woods here?" He was going to jump into the pier off of the pier, and I said, "Buddy, first off, I don't ever want you to do another Sharon Woods.
No.
But second, this is the Ohio River.
Do not dip your toe in that
There-
unless you want to lose it.
There is literal feces, toxic waste,
Yeah.
dead bodies, aliens,
Jimmy Hoffa.
camel dung, everything is in that river." And then he asked me if I had ever been in the river, and I said, of course I had, when I was a little kid.
But not the Ohio River.
Yes, the Ohio River. I didn't know any better, and my dad didn't see fit to warn me. Me and my buddy, we were all up and down in that river.
At what point of the river
By
were you?
Huntington, West Virginia.
Oh, well, then that's different.
No,
Like-
it was brown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not a good place. And I know that it's mostly mud, but when someone in a toilet, it's mostly water, but there's some turds in there.
Here's something I learned about the Ohio River.
Yeah.
When we first moved up here, and you would go, do you remember the mall?
The mall?
Going into a mall.
Yeah.
Because
I was at the mall this weekend.
Here in Cincinnati, we have the Kenwood Mall, and we used to have the Tri-County Mall in Springdale.
Tri-County Mall used to be the Bazaar.
It was an amazing mall.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. But you would go through this mall, and they would have some photo galleries, some places where you could buy artwork, things to put in your office or in your home.
Like Spencer's.
No.
No.
Spencer's is a different type of
Okay.
gallery altogether.
All right.
So you go into these photo places where you could buy this artwork, and they would have Cincinnati skyline pictures that
Okay.
you could buy for your office.
Yeah.
You could if you wanted to hang it at your moose lodge, you could buy one there.
For the
These-
kids, a moose lodge is where you put your moose.
these pictures
Yeah.
of the Cincinnati skyline had a blue river. The
There-
water of the Ohio River was blue.
There's not a blue river
No.
within 100 miles of
No.
Cincinnati.
No. The Ohio River is not watercolored.
If it was going to be accurate, it would be brown with a dead body floating in it.
Yes, an elbow floating down the river.
Maybe some
And-
skyline
Yeah.
floating along with it. We should do an accurate Cincinnati skyline.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
if you want to take a great picture of the Cincinnati skyline, do it at night.
Yeah.
Don't take one during the day because, they Photoshop. It ain't real, kids. That river is nice and golden brown. Last week, my son Cameron went to an animation camp
Okay.
at the University of Cincinnati. Okay, because that's what he is interested in studying.
Now,
And
is this computer animation?
computer
Is it,
computer animation?
Okay.
so he wants to go. He eventually wants to work for Pixar.
Okay.
And I am all about him working for Pixar because when he gets a job at Pixar, he can rub elbows with people.
Yeah.
And then Daddy can do a voice of a character in a Pixar
There
movie.
you go. Or
now,
get
listen,
a coupon for free popcorn.
Yes. Now, listen, I'm not stupid. I know they're not going to give me a character like Sheriff Woody. Okay, something that dominates movie. I want to do the voice of a character who says, "Would you like more popcorn, sir?" And then that was me.
You just did that.
I was in the movie
For a second there, I thought I was starstruck.
I know, thank you.
Yeah.
Right, I am good at doing voices. Yeah. I want to do one character, one line in one movie. Okay, that's all I'm asking.
You could sing the "Let's all go to the
lobby. Let's all go to the lobby." Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could totally do that. So anyway, Cameron wants to work for Pixar, and he went to computer animation camp at the University of Cincinnati. The guy who's teaching the class was the guy who directed Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius.
Really?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Got a blast!
Bert Snuffle. Gump.
I meant to write down his name, and I feel like
You can edit it in later, like one of those.
The guy who was Mark Snodgrass. Yeah. So the guy who directed Jimmy Neutron is teaching this class. And Cameron comes home day one and tells us, guess who's teaching the class?
Yeah.
And we're like, who? And he goes, the guy who directed Jimmy Neutron.
Wow.
We're like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Because we own it on DVD. We've watched it I don't know how many times. We love the movie. So at the end of the week, Friday, we went down and they had like a showcase and everyone was demonstrating some of the things they learned and showing the things that they've made. And it was pretty cool. Jacob and I could not stop talking to the director of Jimmy Neutron. what was it like when they did this? And the aliens were really cool. And how did that work? And God love him, he would not stop talking to us.
Yeah.
He answered every single one of the questions. And I asked him, I said, so what's the guy got to do to get a voice in a cartoon? His advice was get an agent, practice a lot. But anyway, we met the director of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, and
That's
he could not have been nicer.
This portion of our show is brought to you by the ES 1932 Scissor Lift. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and when it comes to working with heights, I don't screw around with ladders. I do the job right with the ES 1932 Scissor Lift. If you have high ceilings, this bad boy is ideal for indoor maintenance, and it's perfect for outdoor construction projects too. This electric scissor lift has twice the battery power of a standard scissor lift. It can power through tough terrain. The platform is strong enough to hold plenty of weight, and with a silencing muffler, this scissor lift is much quieter than diesel models. The ES 1932 Scissor Lift, for people who don't screw around with ladders. Certified users only. Now back to the show.
Have you ever made a tuna casserole, Mike?
I'm anti-tuna.
Really? I am now. Jacob went through this kick, and he was like, I'm going to start eating a lot of tuna. He had decided he's going to buy these cans of tuna, and he's going to eat...
Mercury be damned.
Exactly. He's going to eat the tuna, and he was... I don't know why, like, he thought he needed to lose weight. The boy doesn't need to lose weight at all. If anything, he could stand to put on a pound or two.
Yeah.
The kid does not have any... need to lose weight whatsoever, but he bought all these cans of tuna. They've been in our pantry for months.
Okay.
And so I'm like, dude, are you ever going to eat the tuna? Yeah, I'm going to eat the tuna. And he doesn't eat it. So I said, I'm going to make a tuna casserole.
Yeah.
Okay. And I went on the internet, Google,
interwebs,
and I Googled tuna casserole recipe. But one from Campbell's pops up.
Wow.
And the stupid directions said, add salt to taste. Thanks.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
You just add as much as you feel you need.
I never thought that adding salt might make it taste better.
Yeah, it might.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But we made the tuna casserole, ate it, and then I had no desire to eat any of the leftovers.
Yeah.
It did not make me feel good.
Eating tuna casserole is kind of, how do I say this without being offensive?
Yeah, we've already offended one group of people.
It's one of those things you eat it once and you're done for a long time.
Long time.
And it's not that it's terrible.
It is.
You enjoy it the first 2 or 3 bites.
Yeah, then you're like, what am I doing?
And then it's like, what am I doing with my life? What's happened that's brought me to this point? And I made this decision. You finish it, and then you just want to get it out of your life for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the worst episode. I hope to God Conan doesn't listen to this.
This will be the one.
This is going to be
This
the one.
is the one.
This is
the one.
I'm going to have to put on...
I'm sorry.
Conan, please do not listen to this episode.
This is,
This is going to be the one. We've been wanting him to do an interview with us for months, and he's going to listen to this episode. He's like, why would I bring these guys on the show if all they're going to talk about a damn tuna casserole?
It's been a good ride. I mean, we've made it 262
I know.
episodes.
It's been fun. Did I tell you that we've got somebody out at the house and he's building us a new deck?
Yeah.
We finally decided we're going to get rid of our deck. Our old deck was just falling apart. You lean on it, it starts to really, move forward. It's not supposed to move.
No,
the
decks
paint,
are supposed to be decks.
Decks. They're supposed to. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I couldn't have said it better, Mike.
Decks are good if you want to walk into your backyard, but walk on wood.
Yes.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
That's really what they're for.
That's exactly what they're for.
Yeah.
So we finally decided we're getting rid of our deck, right? Our steps for the deck are like at a 45-degree angle. It's ridiculous trying to climb up the steps to get up or down into the yard.
I've almost broken a hip on your damn deck steps.
It's a death trap. It really is. And then they go down and then they rest on these concrete blocks.
Yeah.
So whoever did it, I don't think did it up to code.
A crack-addled
Jesus.
carpenter with a death wish.
So this guy says a demolition's going to begin next week. And I said, okay, fantastic. And so demolition day comes. They bring this dumpster, put it in our driveway the night before, and then here we are ready for demolition. It's one guy.
Yeah, with a hammer?
With some tools, with an with a sawzall.
There you
Is
go.
that what they call it?
Yeah.
With an electric saw. One guy comes out and is disassembling our deck. And he looks like he weighs about 110 pounds. And he's on top of it, and he cuts off all the rails first.
Yeah.
And then he's carrying these giant chunks of deck out from the backyard into the dumpster in the driveway.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you doing that? It was funny because he's disassembling this thing, and toward the like an hour or two into it,
He's small, but he's strong.
Exactly. I look out, the whole deck is gone except for 2 boards, and he's standing on those 2 boards still. And I was waiting for one of those Wile E. Coyote moments where you don't realize that you cut the wrong thing, and then he plummets to the earth. Amazing. So the demolition of it was done by one guy, and now we're in the building process. He said, so normally, and this is going to be so boring, but whatever, the posts are supposed to be dug 30 inches into the ground. Our old deck was 16 inches in the ground. It wasn't hooked to concrete. It was barely hanging on, because when he tore it off the wall, it came off the wall no problem. How we didn't die on this deck
Oh, my gosh.
is a miracle.
Yeah.
Is an absolute miracle. But so he's now drilling and hooking up all this stuff, remounting the new deck to the house. And I work from home, and the whole house, the whole house is shaking. So it was like, I don't know, he'd been doing it all day. Finally, like about 4:55, I opened the door. I said, would you stop?
For the love of God and your own body, halt the damn hammering
Please.
He thought that was funny. So anyway, when we get the new deck, I'll take pictures and send it to, because I know you guys are fascinated.
Yeah.
And Conan, you're welcome to come and see our new deck.
If Conan's still listening to this episode, can someone check on him, make sure he's still breathing? He may have, because we did have a fan in France for about a year.
Yeah.
And we came up with a theory that it was somebody had subscribed and then fallen off
died.
I don't know, Eiffel Tower or something, and just died.
The Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. old fan.
Yeah.
From years ago.
Yeah.
We should.
We're pulling the plug on this one. It's not going to get any better.
If this is your first time listening to us,
give us
there's
another
a
chance.
Whole lot of other really
honest
good
to God,
episodes.
there are hundreds of other episodes that you can listen to that are better than this one.
Can we have an off night once? Are we allowed to have that? Have we earned that yet?
I hope so.
Can we have an
I
off
hope
night?
people find it in their heart.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you listen to this one and you're not crazy about it, nobody listened to the last one. The last one was really good.
Yeah, last one was really good.
Last one was really good. My son, Jacob, and his band, Dream Flood, I almost said Love Crunch, that's the name of my band.
Yeah.
Jacob's band, Dream Flood, did a song at the end of last week's episode. You got to go back and listen to that one, and you'll love it.
Bet.
Last week's episode was great, and the week before, that episode was really good. So listen to those before you write us off completely.
We got some stuff happening to us between now and the next time we record. We're going to see DEVO twice.
Oh, yeah. I cannot wait to go see DEVO.
And so the next episode is going to have some mad drip, yo. Would you agree?
That's the third time. That's the third time I almost spit out coffee. Yes, Mad Drip, yo, will be in next week's episode. So we hope to see you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
We probably won't.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mike Odell, Darren Cox production.
I'm going to take a drink of one of my... should I have some coffee? Should I have some...
It's like a bar.
Oh, Lord. The smoothie makes me thirsty, really thirsty.
Okay.
And then the coffee, that also makes me thirsty. And then the water, I'm no longer thirsty after I drink the water. Got to cut that out of the podcast.
That's good. Studies show that a river, if you take a picture of a river at night, a good river looks just like a bad river, and a bad river looks just like a good river at night. What? X doesn't care what you post.
No.
You could post a picture of a...
And sometimes X posts those pictures.
Yeah.
Get down, mama.
Get down.
You got to get up to get down. That's Coolio's law of gravity. So we finally decided we're getting rid of...
I'll be here all night. It's funny watching them get so worked up about what you and I would look at and be like, okay, so you got a chicken tender wasn't cooked 100% perfect.
Right.
They go in yelling and freaking out.
Yeah, we talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Did we really?
Yes, we did. And you're like, it's going to be hard for them to be young 40 years later.
I really need to listen to this show.
Yeah, you do. You never listen to your own show. God. Oh, somebody shoot that. Take it behind the barn and shoot it in the head. What was wrong with us?
Oh, I'm off. I told you, I'm off.
But usually when you say you're off, then that equates to you being on. But you being off made me be off. And I had 3 drinks. That should have helped. I don't know. Go to bed.
All right, see you guys.
Coming up on the next episode of Irritable Dad Syndrome.